is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you on a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Coming to y'all Saturday morning. I know it's kind of early, but I'm just going to report some news that Wayne Ellington, a guy that I just told you wouldn't be around that long with the team, he got traded to, and he will become available, and he will be a hot commodity when he does, because he is a three-point shooter, three-point specialist, and playing for the Heat, he was able to do that for a couple seasons. And as we speak, he's on the move. Not even 48 hours after being traded, he gets waived and bought out, I should say. And he's available, and he already has been taken off the market. Now, the thing that people really don't understand is every player has their own incentive. And what I mean by that is every player is not in the game for the same reason. And I know this as being a player, meeting players, talking to GMs. So all players not in it for the money. Some players are just in it for the money. Some players just in it for Hall of Fame, just to be an all-star at least once. Everybody got different goals, different motives. And I think it sounds stupid, it sounds crazy to say that, but a lot of people don't realize that. Everybody's not in it to win a championship right away. Some people want it as fast as they can. Some people want it later in their career. Some people just want to put up numbers and stats and then try to chase one at the end of their career. None of those are right. None of those are wrong, because that's your decision. That's what you want to do, and it's your career. You got to live with the pros and the cons, and you got to weigh option what's best for you and your family. So that's something that we all do as humans. That's something we all do as professionals and business people. We always looking for better. We always looking for more, and we always trying to find ways to get what we want, even if it's illegally. Let's keep it all the way real. But one thing I noticed about this signing, and Wayne Ellington, for people that don't know, got signed to the Detroit Pistons. People didn't like the fact that Wayne Ellington played for the Heat and signed those extensions to play for the Heat those multiple seasons, because the Heat had no chance of making the playoffs. I mean, no chance of winning the championship, which is true. When he went to Miami, they was not even close to being a playoff team. Now you can say they got Mickey Arison and Pat Riley. They always got something under their sleeve. They always trying to figure out a way to get a superstar, whether it's through cap or whether it's through trade or whether it's through the draft. They always trying to find ways to bring championship to Miami. That's what you should want from ownership. If you're a player, especially one that lives in South Beach, like Miami is one of the best places to live, people say. And the fact that you already have that as an advantage, and on top of that, you have the fact that you have Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, who's a Hall of Fame caliber coach and has won championships and was able to get talent to come, whether it was Shaquille O'Neal or even LeBron James and Chris Bosh. They have been able to figure out a winning formula, and they have been able to figure out how to win. And even if it's like now, they don't really have that much talent. They have no superstar to meet on this roster, and they have a lot of young players that have potential, and they have a lot of players that we just seen them trade, like Tyler Johnson, that they signed him and they figured out he ain't for us. And right now, Wayne Ellington got a little hit for that. Signing with the Detroit Pistons, because we all know the Detroit Pistons not winning it at all. The trade deadline is over, and all they can really do is, sign free agents at this point. Is no free agent right now that's available that's going to turn them into championship contenders. And, the fact that they lost out on the Mike Conley trade and the Meritage trade, and then they traded a guy like Reggie Bullock, and got some solid pieces. But it was smart, because you trade Reggie and you keep the rest of the shooters that you have, and then you just replace Reggie and get that advantage from him, and just replace him with Wayne Ellington, who's basically going to do about the same thing. The only difference is the height. Reggie was a better shooter, and Reggie was a guy that can play the 2 or the 3 depending on the lineup. And Wayne Ellington really only can play some point depending on the lineup, because he can just be a 3-point shooter, or obviously he's going to play the shooting guard position. You lose a lot of versatility, and you lose some defense a little bit, not much, but you still replace a 3-point shooting with a guy that can get hot. Now, Reggie is younger, And this is a short-term move for the Detroit Pistons, obviously, because Wayne Ellington is older. And they really have to find out what they're going to do because I don't see them winning with Drummond and Blake. They couldn't even win with DeAndre and Blake and Chris Paul. And now they have Reggie Jackson, Blake Griffin, and Andre. So that's not really helping them either. So I really want to know what they're going to do with this roster. They have talent. They have okay players on the roster to fill the rest of it out. They're good enough to make it to the playoffs. Honestly, I picked them to make the playoffs when the season started because they had Blake, and I feel like he was going to have a comeback season, be an All-NBA player and an All-Star. And he has played All-NBA third-team basketball, and he has been selected to the All-Star game. So I might be right on that. Plus, they're not too far out from making the playoffs. Ain't like they have no chance. They're a win streak away from getting back in there. So would I bet money on them? Probably not, because there's some teams that's better than them. But they teams didn't really get much better, and the Detroit Pistons got a little worse. But the talent that they lost wasn't significant enough for me to really jump off the bandwagon. So they still close. They still can win. But I just wanted to clear a lot of that stuff out because Wayne Ellington got heat for choosing to go to the Pistons instead of going to a team like Philly or going to a team like the Lakers, who obviously picked up Mike Muscala and them. Obviously, Philly wanted another shooter, and then they already went after Jonathan Simmons and the other guy that they got. So they basically said, hey, you're not going to let us get Wayne Ellington. We're just going to find somebody that can fix us up right now. And they got James Ennis and Wayne Ellington to do that. And they're more athletic, more mobile, and they have more versatility than what Wayne Ellington does. But they had to trade up some assets to get him instead of just filling the roster spot. So I understand Wayne Ellington thinking. He went to the team that can pay him the most. He went to a team that he might get more shots and more time because they're going to need somebody to fill up. They're going to need somebody to shoot, and they're going to rely on him just like the Heat did. But I think Wayne Ellington, he's going to be in the league for a while. His ability to get open, his ability to knock down shots, and to his ability to catch fire is something that's going to help prolong his career. It helps that he is a great three-point shooter, which is the main reason why he's in the NBA. But I think he's still going to have to figure out ways to impact the game a little more because now we're starting to see two-way, 3-and-D, and guys that can handle the ball. And as he gets older, his athleticism is going to continue to leave him. But if he can't get open, if he can't continue to make shots, even if they're a little bit slightly more contested and difficult, his career on the opposite side could be over because right now everybody got talent. You got centers like Marcin Gortat. You got Wesley Matthews on the market. These are quality players that you can just pick up for $400,000, $700,000 because they got bought out and waived, and you can fill them and plug them in. Like these are starting caliber players, or at least 6 or 7 men on the bench that you're getting for basically nothing. And Wayne Ellington was another guy that you probably could have him in your rotation. And he deserves to be in the rotation this year. And he was with the Heat. And you basically get him for nothing. And we're starting to see, like I told you guys in 14 and 15, the talent is only going to get better. Because remember, in the draft, it's going to be a whole set of new players coming in. Then you're going to have the veterans still. Then you're going to have the summer league players. Then you're going to have the people from overseas that's done with their contract. Then you got the high school players potentially coming in 21, 22, which give you more talent to pick from. So that's something that these players got to keep in the back of their mind. You got to continue to work on your game. You can't get complacent. You got to continue to push yourself, and you have to continue to add to your game. The more you can do, the more valuable you are, the more money you can make, and the more relevant you stay. That's the tough part. You know, you want to be on a roster, you want to get a role, and that's why he went to Detroit. More shots, more opportunity, more playing time, and that's the main reason. But he still could have went to another team, which they hit him up for. But that's not the decision that he wanted to make. He wanted to go for a team that he can do more on, which is understandable. He can always find a roster spot years from now to chase a championship. Not guaranteed. No championship is really guaranteed. And the NBA is getting loaded. We done seen Tobias. We done seen Mirotic. We done seen even Marcus Hall just get thrown away. And these are great players still. And they basically got moved and helped teams that was already rich get even better and richer without even losing that much. So that's the NBA we live in today. Wayne Ellington is on the market. He's going already, like I told you guys. But we're getting so much talent that they might have to do an expansion draft, guys. Some of these players, you can't lose all this talent and let them go overseas if you're the NBA. Overseas, yes, they help you, but they also a competitor. They might have to add some more teams to the NBA for the draft for the amount of talent that's coming in right now. And even if they do the high school, that's even more talent that's just going to be wasted not being in the NBA. Even the G League is getting full. Every team is starting to get a G League team, and they rosters are getting full. So, and remember, the G League, you can go out there and try out. So you could be a guy off the street putting in work and you can get on the roster and possibly make it to the NBA. So you even got to change. It's small, but it's still there. So that's the crazy part. But let me know, do you think Wayne Ellington was crazy for not going to a contender like Philly or trying to get picked up by a team like Detroit? That's definitely not going to win it all. Not a contender at all this season, but he gets more opportunity and more chances to shine, which can help him for his long term, or it can hurt him because, is the type of player that he is starting to get a little saturated now. We done seen Marco Bellinelli and them move around, and they're better than him. So he's gonna have to do a little bit more if he wants to stay in the league. But if he does, his value is only gonna get better. But he is a streaky shooter, and on top of that, he can't really do much outside of threes at this point. So that's another thing to consider when you sign in them years from now. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm gone. Let me know what you guys think about what I said about the draft, the talent, and Wayne Ellington choosing to go to a non-playoff team instead of a championship contender. And let me know if you think he can help. Do you think this was smart to trade Reggie Bullock, get a couple assets, and replace him with Wayne Ellington, and you still get the same type of production, but you don't have the versatility, which you have to lose the game sometimes. You can't have your cake and eat it too most of the time. And even if you do, you might still get fat, and that's a repercussion. So check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for liking on Facebook. I do Summer League, draft, preview, breakdowns, tributes to the legends. I also cover free agency like you see. And I also do season previews. I do everything 365. Try not to miss a day. Come with content every single day I can. And at the end of the day, thanks for watching. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching. That's why I continue to go. And let me know what you guys think about Wayne Ellington signing with the Detroit Pistons. Will it help? Will it hurt? Do it matter? Do it don't? Let me know what you guys think.